Hi, everybody. Day one of the happiness challenge. Welcome. It's 9 o'clock exactly, so I'm gonna wait a few minutes. So if people have a bit of a chance to hop on, they can hop on. If not, they can watch the replay after. Just hashtag replay and kind of let me know where you're from. So I'm excited for this, you guys. I just got back from vacation and it was so much fun. And after talking to a lot of people and seeing certain situations and dealing with certain things, I just felt like I had to share this because it's needed. It's so needed in the world, and people don't realize how easy it can be, because we're always stuck in this negative cycle, right? This negative cycle of, I can't do it. Well, why can't you do it? Why don't you try telling yourself you can do it and see what happens? Like, just changing that little mindset is like the hardest thing. Acknowledging it is the hardest thing. And that is the key. Just being aware and acknowledging that you have this negative mindset and being disciplined enough to turn it around is what this is all about. It's giving yourself permission to do what it is to make you happy, because we don't even know what that is anymore. Like, I had no idea that I had given my permission to other people and always seeked, like, to ask them something and I'd have to get their permission. But I'm a grown ass person. Why do I need to ask for permission to be happy? And so my goal is to help you and figure that out. So, welcome to day one of the happiness challenge. Okay, so the purpose of this challenge is to give you permission, like I said, to do the things that you love without feeling guilty or judgment from yourself or anybody else. Because as we all know, we are our worst own enemies. We're always, telling ourselves negative things compared to what anybody else tells us. And that's just a natural reaction. If you were born in a less fortunate family and things like that, you definitely have those mindsets, because I know I did, and I've been able to definitely turn them around. So, let's see what else. Feeling guilty in the moment. So, everybody needs to take a pause and a break from the world. And I realized this when I left the 9 to 5 and my family, and I did it for my family, but then I realized, like, shit, I'm just giving everything away to my family. Like, I don't even know what I like, what I want to do, and things like that, right? So it's just like, oh man, I should probably sit there and really think about that. So what I learned along this journey and doing my home business and things like that is that in order to take care of anybody else. Hey guys, so it kicked me off of the other video. So this is part 2 to day 1 of happiness challenge, okay? So I'll try to piece it together or something. But I went on my page, so that way if it happened again, I'm just going to record it. I don't know why this happens every time we try to do something, but we're not going to let it ruin our day, right? So I'm going to share with you what I've learned from my experiences and how I was able to deal with certain things, and kind of just show you what the outcome can be. So one thing I learned about energy and transferring and stuff, when we're kids, like 0 to 7 years old, we pick up all of the things that we need in life. Okay, that's watching our parents and how they work and their values and all the other struggles that goes on in their life that we are a part of. So I'm gonna give you an example. I love my baby Anilla, and she's my dog, okay? She's like my first child, okay? And I remember there was a time in my life when I was going through some shit, and I would come home and I would cry to her, and I would hug her, and she would sleep with me. She was my comfort. And then I realized a little later on down the road that when I was feeling like that and I was hugging her and things like that, I'm transferring my negative energy to her. She is then going to go into this mode where she feels like she has to protect me. Like, she doesn't know what's making me sad or not happy, and she just wants to be there to make me happy. Now, how many have done that? Like, you have a kid or you have your animals and you've been real sad and you just want to hug them and you just want to love them and things like that. Okay, I'm guilty of it. I've done it too. I think my sister, my dog, my husband, everybody. And then I learned, like, shit, you can't do that. Okay, you're taking away their happiness. Now, my dog feels like she has to look after me for whatever reason that I put upon her, right? My sadness. So how many times have we learned that from our parents? I'm going to give you an example. I can be really bad with money and I could be really good with money. It just depends on how I feel. And I know I learned a lot of my money issues from my mom because she was a single parent. I remember us getting dropped off from Arizona and like, where's my dad going? And then all of a sudden my mom was struggling living with my grandma, you know, and my grandma was, you need to keep your money. You can't spend it because if there's an emergency, right? So what would I do? I would hoard my money. Those are things that we learn from our family that we don't even realize carries on into adulthood and to our next generations, right? So kids, they take on and they see the responsibility. Oh, I gotta get a 9-to-5. I have to buy a house and I have to do this and I have to do that. But people don't realize that back then it was attainable, right? It was easier to have a house. It was easier to have a family. It was easier to work one job. And now look at how things have changed. Okay. So the first thing to this happiness challenge is I want you to give yourself permission. You need to give yourself permission to do whatever it is that makes you happy. And you have to take care of yourself first. Like they say in the airplanes, you got to put your own mask on before you can take care of anybody else and put your kid's mask on, right? It's the same thing in life, okay? So basically, when this video goes up, I'm going to put the detailed outlines and the commitment. I want a little short commitment statement from you, okay? It's super easy. It's 5 days, guys. It's not anything hard. So I'm going to read the commitment, though, to you. It says, I, and then your name here, give myself permission to do what makes me happy every single day without judgment from myself or anybody else. So I commit to spending time with myself for the minimum of at least 30 minutes. I know you can do 30 minutes a day. So there's no excuses. Okay. I'm committed to doing whatever it takes to give myself permission just to do it. Okay. So every day for the next 5 days, have a journal. Okay. Or just staple some pieces of paper together. And every day for 5 days, you're going to write what you're grateful for. And you're going to write 5 things. Just 5. Okay? And you're going to spend 30 minutes by yourself. Peace and quiet. No kids, no distractions, nothing around. You're going to sit with yourself. No electronics. I mean, if you like listening to music or you want to dance or something like that, cool, do that. But no Facebooking, no Instagram, no none of that. I want you to be in the moment, okay? So you're going to do that for the next 5 days, and you're going to write down what you're grateful for. And then at the end, you're going to write down a phrase that I've attached that says, I am wealth, I am abundance, and I am joy, okay? And so day 1, what you're going to do, what I want you to do is we're going to start out small. You're going to go and buy yourself your favorite snack or your favorite drink, okay? Whatever it may be, soda, maybe you haven't had soda in a really long time, a candy bar. You don't got to get crazy and go like king size or anything like that, but just appreciate that little thing that you may not have had in a long time, or that you may feel guilty spending that little bit of money on for yourself. Like you might need it for a bill or something like that. Good. Yeah. So, all right, guys, I'll talk to you later because this thing is keep telling me connection lost, connection not lost. So maybe I need to get it in a better spot, right? So, all right, you guys, I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to do today with your first day of day 1 happiness challenge. And thanks for letting me share. Love you guys. Aloha.